初心者なんで応援していただけると助かります。
うん。暗記違う。は、昨日の続きを始めます。早めにやって期限切れの課題をやらなきゃいけないんですよ。とにかく今日はクラスについて。
Everything in Java is object-oriented and class-based. This means you have to create at least one class to write a Java program. A class describes an object. It's like a template for a new kind of object. When you define a class, you're defining a new data type. To use the object, you create an instance of the class. It's a very similar concept in Python. A class includes fields or instance variables that hold the data for each object, constructors that describe how to create a new object instance of the class, and methods that describe the actions the object can perform.
ここら辺はそういう練習。
Here's simple syntax for defining a sample class. Public is an access modifier that defines the visibility of the class. Public means any other program in the Java project can use the class, i.e., create instances or call methods. We'll talk about other access modifiers later in the course. This class will contain fields, a constructor, and methods. These can be in any order. An object's data is stored in fields or instance variables. The fields describe the state of the object. Fields are defined as variable declarations in the class. Here's a sample class definition with instance variables. We've defined a variable name to store a string in the object, a variable health to store a double in the object, and a variable age to store an int in the object. Age is initially set to 0. Fields are available throughout the entire class that declares them. A constructor is code to create an object. The syntax for a constructor looks like this. Public means the constructor is accessible by any other program in the Java project. Class name has to be the same name as the class that the constructor occurs in. The constructor parameters are a comma-separated list of variable declarations. Here's a sample class definition with a constructor.
A
method is a function in an object that allows you to use and communicate with that object. The syntax for a method looks like this. If a method is to return a result, return type is the data type of the result. you must use a return statement to exit the method with a result of the correct type. If a method doesn't return a result, return type is void. This indicates that a method doesn't return a value. In this case, you don't need to use a return statement to exit the method. Here's a sample class definition with a method. The method is called getName, and it returns the value of the name instance variable. This refers to this instance of the class.
うーん。少し早くし、話しましょ
To use a class, you create an instance of the object by calling its constructor and using the keyword new. Here's syntax to define a class and create an instance of that class. Notice we're starting in the main method, which is the entry point to our program. We create a new instance of the class name by using the new keyword and storing the instance of the class in a variable C. Let's create a banking project. In our project, we'll have 3 classes. A bank class that will represent a bank for managing customers and their bank accounts. A bank account class that will represent a checking or savings bank account for a customer. And a customer class, which will represent an actual customer of a bank. The first thing I'm going to do is create a banking project. So in Eclipse, File, New, Java Project.
う。これは、
We'll call it Banking. Click the Next button. I'm going to uncheck the Create Module Info.java file. Finish. Then I'm going to create my first class in the source folder. File, New, Class, Bank. And I want to make sure I check public static void main because I want that method in this class. For a package, I'm going to provide banking. Click Finish. And here's our first class, bank. The first thing I'm going to do in this class is add a Java doc. / return. Represents a bank for managing customers and their bank accounts. In my bank class, I'm going to create a run method. This will serve to run the program by initializing and managing bank accounts and customers. So public void run. Let me add a Java doc. / return. Runs the program by initializing and managing bank accounts and customers. Then, in my main method, I'm going to create an instance of the bank class. So of type bank, call the variable bank equals new bank. This creates a new instance of the bank class. Creates new instance of bank class. Then I'm going to call the run method in the bank class. Bank.run. That's the method I've defined here. Calls the run method in the bank class. And then just for fun, let's print something out from within the run method. System.out.println program running. And then if I run my program, Java will first look for the main method, which I've defined here in the bank class. In the main method, I create an instance of the bank class, which is the class I'm in. And then I call the run method in the bank class, which I've defined here. And in the run method, I print program running. Let's try it. Run the program running. So far, so good.
これは、エクリプスを見ればいい。エクリプスでインポートすればいいんだから、エクスプローラー、ワークスペースを、イントロ Java に切り替え。こっちの方でインペーパー、エクトリー、ゲーム、バンキ、このままか。バンキ。ここに今のジャンプが、ここに全部入ってるんだ。とりあえず実行してみましょう。カッツやめ。名前が入る。カッツやダメ。こういう風にできるんだって。とりあえず一回ブレイクで、いきなり0で9。カスタマーは、ネームとアドレス。持って。バンクアカウント。ストリングアカウントタイプ。ダブルバランス。カスタマー。ストリングアカウント。なるほど。預金と口座って別に2種類持ってるってこと。バンク。
Now let's create a bank account class. File, new, class. We'll call it bank account. That will be in the source folder. I'm going to use the same package, which is banking. So it'll be in that subdirectory. I don't need a main method in this class because I already have one in the bank class. Finish. Let me add my Java doc, /*, return, represents a checking or savings bank account for a customer. Now I'm going to define 3 instance variables for the bank account class. Instance vars. So first will be the account type. So of type string, it's called account type. I'm declaring it here. I can add Java docs to instance variables as well as classes. So this is the type of account, either checking or savings. Then I'll create the balance. So of type double, variable called balance. This is the balance for bank account. And then a reference to the customer for this account. So of type customer, we'll call it customer. So this is the customer for this account. Notice I have an error here with customer. If I put my mouse over the red squiggly line, I can see that customer cannot be resolved to a type. And that's because I haven't yet created the customer class. So Java doesn't know what a customer is. So let's go ahead and apply one of the quick fixes. I can create class customer, like that. Opens up the dialog with defaults, same package, banking. And the name of the class is customer. uncheck this, click finish. Now I have a customer class, and now the customer type resolves. It's important to note that these 3 instance variables can be different for every instance of bank account. They each can have their own account type, their own balance, of course, and their own customer. Moving back over to the customer class, let's go ahead and add a Java doc.
何に持って言えばいいか。
Represents a customer of a bank. I'm going to add 2 instance variables to the customer class. Instance vars. Every customer will have a name. String name. Name of customer. And every customer will have an address. String address. Address of customer.
いくつかも
So now I'm going to create a constructor for the customer class. So telling Java how I'm going to create a single customer or an instance of the customer class. Constructor. The constructor has to have the same name as the class itself. Public
パブリックで、
customer. When I create a customer, I'm going to allow for providing a given name. String name. I'll pass that as an argument when I call the constructor. Creates a customer with the given name. And the parameter name is name of customer. And then in my constructor, I'm going to set the value of the instance variable name to be the same as the given name here in the constructor. So this sets instance var name to given name. I'm going to add a few methods to my customer class.
それ滑りやね。
The first method is the setAddress method. Public void set address. This takes a given address and sets it to the instance variable address. This dot address equals the given address. Add a Java doc. Sets the address of customer to be given address. Address for customer. This method is defined as public, which means it's accessible outside of the class. Void, which means it doesn't return anything. It's called setAddress, and it takes one argument, a string address. Now we'll define a getName method. This method will return the name of the customer. Public, because it's publicly accessible outside of the class. String, because it's going to return a string. GetName is the name of the method. No arguments. And it's going to return this .name. This refers to the instance of the class, and name refers to the instance variable name. Returns customer's name. Return name of customer. Similarly, I'm going to create a method getAddress, which will return the address of the customer. Public, because it's publicly accessible outside of the class. String, because it's returning a string. GetAddress is the name of the method. No arguments needed. And this will return this dot address. This refers to this instance of the class, and address refers to the instance variable address. Returns customer's address, return address of customer. Now let's go back to the bank account class and create a constructor there. This will be a way of creating a bank account. So the constructor has to have the same name as the class, public bank account. We'll set this to be the constructor area of the class. Constructor. When I create a bank account, I'm going to pass as an argument the account type, that's a string, and the customer who owns the account. Customer. Create a bank account of given type for given customer. Account type for bank account. Customer for bank account. In my constructor, I'm going to set the values of the instance variables in the class. So this dot account type will be set to the given account type, and this dot customer will be set to the given customer. Then I'm going to add some methods in my bank account class. These are things that I can do with a bank account. So public void deposit. I can deposit a given amount of money into the account. It'll take a given double and then add it to the balance. So this dot balance, add the given amount. This just deposits the amount by adding it to the instance variable balance. So this deposits the given amount to add to balance. And of course, we're going to have a withdraw method, public void withdraw. This will take a given amount and subtract it from the balance, double amount, and this dot balance minus equals the given amount. The other thing that this method will do is check to see if the given amount is available in the balance. So if the given amount is greater than this dot balance, that means we don't have enough money in our account to support the withdrawal. We're going to throw a new exception with a custom error message. Amount is greater than available balance. If the given amount is greater than the available balance, then we'll throw the exception and the method will exit before we subtract the given amount from the balance. But if the given amount is not greater than the available balance, then we'll subtract the given amount from the balance. We're getting an error here because we have to tell Java that this method might throw an exception. So here's the quick fix. Add throws declaration. This says that the public void withdraw method, given this amount, might throw an exception. We'll talk about exceptions a lot more a bit later in this course. So let's add our Java doc. Withdraws the given amount from balance, amount to withdraw, exception if given amount is larger than available balance. Let's add a few more methods to the bank account class. I want to write a method that will return basic account information. So public string get account info. This has to return a string. I'm telling Java that this method will return a string. Return a string made up of the account type concatenated with the balance. This dot account type concatenated with a colon, concatenated with this dot balance. Add the Java doc, returns account type and balance for this bank account. Return string with all the info. I also want to write a method that returns some basic information about the customer associated with this bank account. So public string get customer info. So this has to return a string. I'm going to return a string made up of the customer name concatenated with the customer address. To get the customer name, I'm going to reference the customer instance variable in the bank account class. This dot customer dot get name concatenated with a colon concatenated with this dot customer dot get address. And that's the string I'm going to return from get customer info. Let's add a Java doc. Returns the customer name and address for this bank account. Return string with all of the info. Now let's go back to our bank class and begin creating instances of bank accounts and customers. To create a customer, I'm going to ask the user to enter the customer's name. So we'll start by saying, welcome to the bank. What is your name? To get user input, I'm going to create a scanner. So scanner equals new scanner from the keyboard, which is system.in. Create scanner to get user input. I have to import scanner from java.util. Do that here. And then we'll get the next token or word, which is the customer's name. We're going to use the scanner's next method. Scanner.next next, that gets the next word or the next token as input. And then we're going to store that in a string. We'll call it name. Then let's greet the user, system.out.println hello name exclamation. We are creating checking and savings accounts for you. Then we're going to create a customer using the provided name. So of type customer, create a variable called customer equals new customer. This calls the customer constructor with a provided name as an argument. So create customer with given name. Then let's get the customer's address. So we'll ask the user, get address, system.out.println, what is your address? Then we'll get the next token or word, which is the customer's address. So scanner.next gets the next token. And we'll store that in a string variable called address. And then we'll set the address on the customer object. So customer.set address with the given address. And this will set the customer's address. So now the customer has a name and an address. Now that we have a customer, we can create some bank accounts. So let's start by creating a checking account. So create a checking account for customer. So of type bank account, we'll call it checking account equals new bank account. This calls the bank account constructor. We have to provide two arguments. The first one is a string indicating the account type, checking, and the second argument is a reference to the customer for that bank account. That's the customer we created above. Now I'll create a savings account for the same customer. Copy that, paste that here. We'll call it savings account. Savings account, new bank account. In this case, it's savings. Same customer. Could have multiple accounts for a single customer. Create a savings account for customer. Now let's get the customer info for the checking account. So checking account dot get customer info. That returns a string. I'm going to print it. System.out.println. Okay, so this gets and prints the customer info associated with the checking account. Let's also put a line break here. System.out.println. There's our break. And system.out.println customer info. Now we can run our code. Welcome to the bank. What is your name? Brandon. Hello, Brandon. We are creating checking and savings accounts for you. What is your address? Philly. Customer info. Brandon is the customer name, and Philly is the customer address. So let's change the printout of the customer information slightly. I'm going to go to bank account, look at the get customer info method. Instead of a colon, let's use from. I'll come back here, rerun my code. Welcome to the bank. What is your name? Brandon. Where are you from? Philly. Customer info, Brandon from Philly. Now let's get and print some account information. So system.out.println from the checking account. Let's call get account info. We'll print that. Get and print account info for checking account. We'll say system.out.println. This is checking account. Just like that. And then we'll do the same thing for the savings account. Say savings account. We're going to call savings account dot get account info. Okay, run this. What is your name? Brandon from Philly. Customer info, Brandon from Philly. Checking account, it's checking. The balance is 0.0. Savings account, it's savings, and the balance is 0.0. Now we're going to make some deposits into our accounts. Deposits. We'll start with checking, and we'll ask the user to enter a deposit amount. So let's first system.out.println. Let's just print a blank line. And then let's ask the user system.out.println amount as a decimal to deposit into your checking account. And then we'll get that amount from the scanner object by calling next double, which will get the next token as a double. It'll cast it for us. Double amount equals scanner.nextDouble. So this is get next token. In this case, it should be a double. And then let's actually deposit the amount into the checking account. So checking account dot deposit the given amount, deposit into checking account. And then let's do the same thing for depositing into the savings account. I'm going to copy most of this, paste it down here into savings. print a blank line, ask the user to enter a deposit amount for the savings account. And then we have to use the scanner object to get the next double, which is the next token, casted to a double. We've already declared the variable amount, but I can reuse it here. So amount equals scanner.nextDouble. And then let's actually deposit into the savings account. So savings account dot deposit the given amount. This is deposit into savings account. And once I've deposited into the checking and savings accounts, I'm going to want to see the new balance. So let's print that. System.out.println. We'll print checking account dot get account info, which contains the account balance. We'll do it there for the checking account, and then we'll do it for the savings account. Savings account. Print new balances. Now let's run our program. So welcome to the bank. What is your name? Brandon. Philly. So here's my customer info. Here's the checking account information. The balance is 0.0. Savings account information. The balance is 0.0. Now I need to input an amount to deposit into my checking account. So I'm going to put in 175 cents. Amount to deposit into your savings account. I'm going to put 275 cents. Now, here's my updated account information. The checking has $100.75, and the savings has 275 cents. Now let's look at making withdrawals from the accounts. Withdrawals. We'll start with the checking. So from checking, system.out.println blank line. Let's ask the user to enter an amount to withdraw from the checking account. So it's going to be similar to this. Copy this. Paste it here, amount to withdraw from your checking account. Then let's actually get the input using the scanner. Scanner.nextDouble. And again, we'll store that in a variable. We can reuse the amount variable. Get next token as a double. And then let's withdraw from the checking account. Checking account dot withdraw the given amount. Withdraw from checking. And it looks like we have an error here. An unhandled exception type exception. If you recall, our withdraw method in the bank account class throws a possible exception, meaning if the given amount is greater than the available balance, we throw an exception. Well, Java is forcing me to handle that exception when I call the method. One way I can handle this exception is by surrounding the code with a try catch. The way this works is we'll try to call the withdraw method with the given amount inside of the try block. If the amount is too large, meaning it's greater than the available balance, we'll get the exception and we'll catch it or handle it inside of the catch block. Here, E is a variable that represents the exception. It has a print stack trace method, which by default prints the entire stack trace that led to the error. If you recall, we generated a custom error message when we created the exception and we threw it from the withdraw method. To display that message, instead of e.printStackTrace, we're going to call e.getMessage, which will return the custom message, and then we'll print it. System.out.println e.getMessage. So this prints custom error message from withdraw method.
切り潰してる。
So let's get rid of this. That's our to-do. Let's move this comment here. And then we're going to do this whole thing again when we try to withdraw from the savings account. So from savings, copy all of this, paste it here. From savings, print a blank line, ask the user for an amount to withdraw from your savings account, get the next double, store it in amount, call savings account, dot withdraw with the given amount. If we get the exception, we'll catch it here in the block and we'll print the custom error message. So withdraw from savings. Finally, we're going to print out the account balances one more time. So I'm going to copy this from up here and I'll paste it down here. This will print our new balances. Get account info for checking, get account info for savings. And when we're done with everything, we're going to want to close our scanner. Scanner.close. And then we are at the end of our main method. So we can get rid of all of this white space just to clean up our work. Now let's run the program. What is your name? Brandon. Address, Philly. Amount for checking account, $100, 75 cents. For savings, $200, 75 cents. Enter an amount to withdraw from your checking account, $100. And then enter an amount to withdraw from your savings, $201. So I was able to withdraw from my checking $100. The new balance is 75 cents. Then I tried to withdraw $201 from the savings. I got the custom error message from the exception. Amount is greater than available balance. And the balance for my savings account is still $200.75.
まあ、こんなもんですね。まあ、人工ってプログラミングという技術。これをやった。で、次のシリーズに、これは簡単にできそうですね。Which またフォローイングでクラスコレクトリー。パブリック、クラス。あ、そういうことか。カッコは違うのね。How do you define a function that gets some data and init value? get sum なら int get sum でしょ。だってオブジェクトデータスターズ、フィールド。How to create an instance plus CIT。CIT 合計丸イコール2の CIT。Collect weight create a constructor for book class。パブリックブック。まあ、これだね。デフォルトコンストラクター。ボイドはいらない。イントメラパブリックブック。で、パラメータはいる。You can write the program without creating one の大抵メイン用に一つ活性必要です。Fields are able to distribute into the cluster Fields are available 変えることができる。throughout 何を通して。エンタイヤークラス。クラスで。変化できない。ヒント。85.7%、1。 こができるんだ。いるさ、あばやば。ディープ L で翻訳しといて、おあ、するアウト、利用するって意味か。利用可能だよね。OK。でもそれ以外は大丈夫だから次。プログラミング。やっぱホームワークはシンプルゲーム。The first homework assignment. Please download the file contains following a PDF インストラクター。これをダウンロードして、とりあえず、ダウンロード、エデュケーション。で、今や、これが、イントロブホームワーク。とりあえず展開する。シンプルゲームテスト。と Java のホームワーク。シンプルゲーム。で、アサイメント。Java ランゲージ。それぞれ入れてみようというね。コディオでやってみようってことなの？すっごいめんどくさいな。一応閉じて、了解。オープンツール。で、コディオを使う。使えるようにしなきゃいけない。とりあえず、文法で、クラウドフレア、データスペース。全部オープンして、クラウド、スタートアップページ。インター、コディオ、IO、コンツ、コン、ボックス、コディオ、コン、インターコン、スタートアップページ、ボックス。これでできるようになる。コディオプレイは、当時unable to stock key that needs you to. OK。ニットセッション。インター DDL もいいと。これでもう一回読み直せば、ローディングプロ、ウェルカムトゥコーディング。よし。サブミット。フルゲームジャバが入ってる。うん。 えここにあったシンプルゲームテスト Java が入ってね。で、これを開いてか。まず一つ。あとだね。クロス。順番に、結構出すコンピューターミッション。そして順番に。これは今ダウンロードした。コディオにあげたいんですよ。ファイル、アップロード。ブラウザ4ファイル、ダウンロード、エデュケーション、シンプルゲームです。ネットワークエラーになってたよ。アップロードが入ってないからか。スタートアップページ。ナビゲーターで、閉じて、サブミットに、もう一回ファイル、ロード、ブラウザフォーファイル。この二つをアップロード。はいはい。なるのか。でもこれで実行ができるはず。何がプロ、なるほど。プレサブミッション、エラーが出るのは当然なんだよね。でもテストでエラーが出ないとこもある。クラスでこれの嫌だな。なんか設定変えたい。デリート、オーディオ、振り合わせ、プロジェクト、プロジェクト、うーん、やってるから、アセット、シンプルゲームで、あった、コンバート、セコンド、ミスサーチ。プラマセコンドトゥコンバート、 まり、It's hours equal all で、この本数10秒減る10ミリ。で、ここ、プラスマイナスオール、アワー、ける、ける6、ミニッツ、イコール、セコン。こう、ポン酢分の60。で、セコン、マイナス、ミニッツ、で、60。ターン、イン、ターン、アワー、という、プラス、どうかな。これも、いけば一発ですね。いいんだけど、リターン、いや、これリターンでいいや。これで、うーん。はい。 イントライン。ここら辺は Java のあれを見ながらやるってことだな。エンドファイルが絶対。ファイルスキャンでもつか。セブンズを、あー、でね、これ今できるか。ここら辺はできそうな気がするんだけどな。うん、いいや。ディーティンネクストでやっといて、で、コンジコール、シンドゥインテジャー。全然覚えてねえ。てか使ってないから。だよね。んです。インテジャーパーセントでいいか。あるいはネクスト。数字だけにするのはストリングで、キャナー、ネクストイント。やっぱ、キャナー、ネクストイント。じゃあ、取ればいいのかな。例が出たら、 インパートタイム。タイム。システムコンバート。システム。L。5。あ、これタイムと。まあいいや。こうしてみよう。こうする。コンプレス。cannot be converted to string。数値の、まあ、ここは数値を、テレスを数値じゃなくて、Java、テレス。かっこインティジャーでやるのが一番点が分かりやすいか。例えばインティジャーで打ちゃえばいいよね。うーん。えーっと、ソース、ゲームオブジャブ、そして今度インプットページや、アワー。だったから CV で入れよう。CV アワー。リセコン。これでどうだ。CV アワー。プラス、かける。CV AV。うん。こうかな。いやいや。そうすると、ここは AV アワー嘘に。待って、which ask the which game play? ちょっと、待って。フルゲーム。ゲームのだよ。askゲーム。ダブル。を、テクスト。で、 うーん。出る。いいや。でも、とりあえず。うん。ああ。これで、一応、プログラムは動くはず。LB になってる。了解。もう一回。おやそっか、これか。あ、プロンプトは必要だよね。ちょっとやっぱいいんだよ、あ、これはまあ、どうすればいいか。 がいいから、next int。プレイタイプはインティジ。または2。それで実行。OK。まあ、これでインプットミスマッチ、セプションが出るのは分かってるか、それは解いていいでしょう。ここまでは簡単。Tips for this element。モジュールを使いってことか。いくつかあるけど、インテリジャートゥーストリングでもいいんだけど。待って。モジュールを使った。そうすると、コディを、シンプルゲーム Java。ここで、WH、Y、C 点はず、NEXT。で、うん。あこうの質問アウトで使うのは好きじゃないけど、インプット、ポンズ、エチア、トリン、システム、ある、あ、ゲーム、ね、どうだ。あ、 どこで見てるって、コンズ、プラスか。うん。まあ、悪くはない。計算の仕方はちゃんと合ってればいいと。計算の、これ違う。計算の仕方が、だね。じゃあ、こう、もう一回。反対にやってみよう。PV? オールセコンドパーセント。V? いつコールセコンド60で割り、それの60の割って余りを出す。で、CV アワーズ。コール。追いかけセコンズ。この 60×60。パーセント60。これでラン。うーん。待って。ランやプロ。うん。エールが出てるな。ユニットテストがこうなるの分かってるから、そこは考え方が違うってことだな。えっと、マイナスの時は、そっか。そうか。if ポンズ4の0。 これ計算で出てると思ってたんだけど、そうだけど単に、インバリッドデータを、として、これを返すべきことだけなのね。こういうことね。これでランプで11。そのタイプはパス。で、テストコンバート。デジットサムについて、同じように計算すればいい。The items that are all registered in the given non-negative integer. そういうことか。ストリング。オール。ストリング。待って。ここはテストを見ればいいのか。書いてね。まあ、書いてしよう。つまり、それぞれの数字をゴールでなってるから、なゴール、インテジャー、ストリング、ストリング、インテジャートータル。インテジャー i。n ストリング。じゃあ、C、O、じゃあ、これで、で、じゃあ、思いながらいいんだ。この、じゃあ、 待って。ストリングバリュームなの。これは違う。チャーが、なんなり。いいな。数字ならば、トータル、プラス、ゴール、これはJava、文字、する変換は、そうだよな、キャラクター、ニューメリックバリューか。プラスシステムにできるのかなってあるけど、ニューメリックでリターンと、それで、ああ、よいしょ。あ、ナモストレアーズレングス。レングス、関数だったっけ？それともサイズか。全部抜けてる。なんか抜けてる。順番にこう、じゃあ、かいにして、ここはレングスの。Java、文字列の長さ。メソッドか。メソッドだからエラーが出る。レングスで OK って直すし、ここはキャラクターズだ。そうだ。これで、あれー、コロンになってる。コロンじゃないよ。こうして、 トータルパシブキャラクター。ゲットニューメリックバリュー。ジャードットアット。ここで、キャラクターの中で、あるいは、th キャラクターを、だったら、h の to インテジャー。この方がシンプルか。don't compile submission。型が違う。型が、これは、じゃあ、文字。あ、なんだ。じゃあ、ch として、インテジャー、value of、value of メソッド。j ユニットビンテエラーが出る。non contents this way。18、2394。この4つが登録と、39。すれば、表示したのが、プリント、T、2394。 キャラクターゲットニューメリックバルー。それとも、単なる CH その他したらどうだろう。ウィントが発生するのはターム、シンプルで、トータルプラスオール CH。214になった。コードが違うんだ。とすると、えーっと、キャラクターズの、は、いいのキャラクターゲットニューメリックバリューを使いと。これが全部消す。よし、全部パス。あとは、こっちも同じよ。ファイル SD ですね。ページ。プリント。アームス。ゲーム。ああ、コンバートタイムじゃん。ページ。んサムの、いいのかなああ、97と、20。 あー、なるほどね。ハッネクストでやってるから。あプログラム。ルーファイル is just next. ファイルというルールでやったらダメかな。うん。これで、ファイルと、ダッシュ、ね、ブレイク。うん。エラーが1個出た。ちょっと待った。うん。これをダメでもやった方がいい。これで、あ、えこんなの、9、OK。 て、ツールを開いてよ。んそういうのは使わないっすよ。ここ入ってるんですけど。2020分。で、ギトとかも。関数。で、これでホームワークツールにしたときは、わからない。クレディット、キャン、なるほど。ダウンロードしたい。サブミット。これをダウンロード。ファイルをダウンロードと。OK。で、ダウンロードしたから、入ってますね。OK。というわけで、クローズして、あとは決定と。さて、今ので課題を提出したので、今回はここまでにします。ではでは。
ディスコンネクト。